Good morning. Tami here, confidence coach. Hope you are having an amazingly blessed morning. As you can probably see, I'm still sweating my face off from my morning exercise, but that's a good thing, right? So really quickly, I wanted to talk to you about crying. That's an odd subject this morning, right? Maybe it is, maybe it didn't. So I'm just curious, like, where you stand on that, on the whole crying issue. So crying is something I rarely do, or rarely did. Let me be really super honest. Something I rarely did. If I was crying, you could pretty much bet I was super duper angry. And other than that, crying is just something I rarely did. And so what I've realized through these last couple years, kind of doing some deep personal work, is that kind of wraps back around, ties into how I've built that definition around strength and control, and what I thought made me valuable, and that being strong. And so crying was like a sign of weakness. So it's just something I didn't do unless I was really mad. So now that I've just popped it out there and shared that, I'm kind of having these struggles with menopause and the change, all this, since I've had my hysterectomy, crying is a new, sometimes unexpected thing I've been experiencing. So I've cried a little more than I ever have in my whole life. But what really got me thinking about crying was Monday, after I shared, kind of opened up, and you were just all so beautiful and amazing, and just reached out and shared with me your struggles, or just shared with me your love and tips and prayers. I had the most beautiful experience. So that night I was laying in bed. As you can see, I'm still at the hotel. I was laying in bed, and our daughter-in-law reached out to me, and she just said, "Hey, are you feeling okay?" And obviously the answer was no, right? But that control enthusiast in me, type A personality, normally would just say, "Yep, I'm fabulous." But, I'd already just thrown it out there, was already being super vulnerable. So I decided, okay, we'll just keep the trend going. And I was just really super honest with her. I was like, no, here's how I'm feeling. And I just shared with her. And she was so beautiful. She just had beautiful words, which is super encouraging. And she asked me if it would be okay for her to share those struggles with her husband, our son, so they could pray for me. Now, how beautiful is that? When the people in your life that you love the most, your family, just the people who are closest to you, just reach out and say, "Hey, can we pray for you?" And so of course I was like, absolutely. I just thought that was so beautiful. And my son reached out with just a super sweet message. And so as I got ready to go to bed, I just started crying. And at first it was super sad, which I don't like. I'm not super comfortable with that emotion, but I cried. But then after a little while, I wasn't sad anymore. I just felt really good. And then I fell asleep really peaceful and happy. So yesterday, and then I set my alarm for PM. And so yesterday I didn't wake up, and y'all know how that kind of went. But yesterday, as I was reflecting on just that crying and kind of that feeling, it just was kind of laying on my heart and on my spirit that it was like, at first I was sad because I had all that, everything I've just been holding in. I haven't shared. I've just been holding all of that struggle inside. And by sharing it with y'all, and y'all reaching out, and then just, her reaching out, and my son reaching out, and just letting go of that, I was able to just kind of purge some of that. And so that first sadness, I think, was just some of that moving through, and then that peace. And I slept so good. So I'm just kind of curious, do you allow yourself to cry? What are your thoughts on crying? Because I'm having to learn to feel a little differently about crying, because I used to feel that that was a weakness for me. But I'm starting to see that sometimes my body needs that, my spirit needs that. So I'm having to start changing some of the way I think on things. So I'm just curious. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are on crying. So, all right, I need some breakfast so that my brain can work today, and so my body will participate. I've got a lot going on these days, and I need everything to be in alignment. And y'all really help keep my spirit in alignment. So thank you so much for being a part of my journey and for allowing me to be a part of yours. Hope you have a blessed day.